Just when you thought NCB was done throwing curveballs, they've announced an APO. In this economy? So what's going on? I'm Kalila Reynolds, financial journalist and educator based in Jamaica. NCB Financial Group shocked everyone recently when they announced they're planning an additional public offer. An APO means they're creating new shares to sell to investors. The company said it would create 300 million new shares for sale. We don't know the price of these new shares yet, but we could use NCB's current stock price of around $67 as a benchmark. At that rate, they'd be looking to raise around 21 billion Jamaican dollars, or around 136 million US. It's a lot of money. Now, my next question was the same one that I'm sure you're asking now. What do I need so much money for? Isn't this the same company that made $40 billion in profit last year? Well, social media lit up with speculation that they're raising the money to pay off former Group CEO Patrick Hilton and Deputy CEO Dennis Cohen, who were let go back in July. Remember, the men were asked to give up around 95 million NCBFG shares several years ago on the condition that they'd be paid back over time. The shares were valued at nearly $14 billion, but their time was cut short, so now they want what is owed. And you can check out my other NCB videos for a more in-depth look at this part of the story. Now, to make matters worse, a few days after the APO announcement, NCB Chairman Michael Lee Chin told the Jamaica Observer that the company was still in negotiations with the former execs about their separation packages. So, of course, people started trying to connect the dots and were suggesting maybe it was a payoff. But speaking on taking stock recently, Keisha Bailey from Profit Jumpstarter pointed out that they can't actually do that.
I don't anticipate it being a payout back to the executives that recently resigned. That would not be a prudent move. And certainly being a regulated entity, I'm sure that would not be permissible.
Okay, so if not a payoff, then what? Why tries to raise so much money, especially in this economic environment where the financial markets are down and investor confidence is low? Well, our analysts suggested that they could be raising funds to ensure they have enough money to implement Basel III. Basel III is a new regulatory standard that will require financial institutions to have more cash in reserves. Business journalist David Rose also suggested that maybe they're raising funds to pay off debts. But then they floated this idea.
So one thing I'm actually looking forward to is to see how it's going to be structured. Will it be, for example, whereby some NCBFG debt holders could convert their existing NCBFG debt into shares? And also, how the capital is going to be actually fully used. Alongside, will there be a strategic buyer coming in alongside Leachin to support this offer?
It could also be an opportunity, as David was alluding to, for a large strategic buyer to enter. I think that may be happening. And that would be very interesting to see.
And that's really interesting because if you remember, Michael Lee Chin sold 22 million NCBFG shares in June. And then there was another 16 million share sell-off a few weeks later. That was never confirmed to be from Lee Chin, but not many people other than him own that many shares to sell. Now, who bought those shares is another cause for major speculation. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens once the APO actually opens, especially if there are any big institutional investors. In the meantime, shareholders will vote to approve the APO at NCB's Extraordinary General Meeting, which should be coming up in October or November. Definitely keep an eye out for that. And that's the bottom line. What are your thoughts? What do you think NCB will use the APO funds for? And would you buy into it? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my newsletter for money news like this straight to your inbox. Click the link up here or in the description below. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.